Welcome to Mighty Married Moms. Join us at our kitchen table twice a week as the Mighty Married Moms, Debbie, Linda, Wendy, invite spectacular guests to weigh in on staying sexy, vibrant, and healthy, building marriages with soul-satisfying connection, raising happy, healthy, successful kids. Conversations with Mighty Married Moms will bring you closer to the life you really want. Episode 1.
Hi, everyone. My name is Wendy Williams, and I represent Mighty Married. Start over again. Hi, everyone. We're here today from Mighty Married Moms, and we're here to talk specifically to Linda Tighe, who is a health coach. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Wendy. Hi, Deb. Hi, everyone. We're excited to be here.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
And, we wanted to let people know exactly who we are and how we got to doing what we're doing. And so, Linda, tell us all how you became a health coach.
Well, it started, my interest in, I guess, getting more involved in my health started around 12, 13 years ago. I was always an athlete growing up, and then it's maybe someone else might have experienced this as I have. As you get older, you get a job, and then you have kids, then it's like, oh, when do I exercise? How do I do that? And I found for myself, I always was a very thin person too. People used to tell me to eat more, that kind of thing. You know, I could eat as much as I wanted and still lose weight. And then after having children, that all changed. And I was really kind of taken by surprise. I was like, whoa, I really was only carrying maybe about 15, 20 pounds more, but it was a difference for me, who's typically a size 4 to a size 10, which is not a large size, but for my body, that was a very different. I was like, wow, it was a big difference for me. You know, it was like, whoa, what's going on here? I didn't go back to my skinny self. You know, so I started thinking about, and I was feeling really sluggish and tired all the time. Like I thought, I know when you're a mom and your kids are little and you're not sleeping at night, you're supposed to feel that way, but I really felt like, oh, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good. So then I would start thinking about, you've probably heard this before, if you want to change your life, change your daily habits. And so I decided that I need to make some changes in my life, and I decided to start with food. I thought that was a good place, a good point of departure, because if I could feel better physically, it would probably help me in every other area of my life, because I know that whatever you do, right, it has a ripple effect on every other aspect of your life. So I actually went and I did a cleanse, and I was blown away by the results. And I was, not only was I weighed more than I wanted to, but I was also starting to develop cellulite a little bit. I could see in my legs, and I was horrified. I was like, oh my gosh, this can't be. This is not me.
Really?
Yeah,
Just
right?
saying. Okay, go on.
So I was blown away. I did a cleanse, and it all went away, and I got leaner just by eating clean, whole foods, and I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the change. I was so excited about it. I started telling everybody, I lost cellulite, I lost this, and I was, I don't care. I'll tell you whatever it is going on with me. And so people said, really? Well, if you ever do it again, let me know. So I started reading more about it. I started looking into it, and I eventually developed my own cleanse, and people started coming, and people wanted to know more, and I found out people are just as passionate as I am about getting healthy, and I decided to make it a 2-week process, because I think that 2 weeks is not a long time, but it's long enough to form a new healthy habit, and that's really what we're talking about. What I like to focus on is helping add in good habits or good things in your life, rather than taking away and restricting, because I think as soon as you talk about restricting, it really makes you feel bad,
right?
And you just don't want to do it.
Right. I remember when I met you, and somebody introduced me to you, and they said you should do this cleanse, and I got really anxious with that word, like cleanse. Does that mean that I can't leave my home for days at a time?
You're going to starve. You're going to starve, right? You're going to.
No, I was thinking mostly of being attached to my commode. Is what I was thinking of. But that's not at all my experience, and not at all what you. So can you unpack the? Sorry. Unpack the word cleanse for our listeners and our viewers. What does that mean to you?
At first I called it a detox, and detox was really a scary word for a lot of people, and they really felt like they were going to only drink juice, and they weren't going to eat any food, and they were going to be starving, and so we had to kind of get over that that sort of mental hump. So I started calling it a cleanse, because really my process really is a cleanse. You do start with cleansing, meaning you're going to get rid of eating all the bad things in your life. You're going to add in good stuff, right? So we do kind of pare it all down to start. We start with fruits and vegetables, and I think this is actually a really as far as starting, your health process, if you want to say, okay, I'm ready to get healthy, or I'm ready to lose weight, I want to feel better, I think a cleanse is a really, it's just a great way to start the process. It really is.
It's like a reboot.
It is a reboot. So we eat fruits and vegetables to start for 6 days, which, is challenging, but you can eat as many vegetables as you want. You can eat all day long. You can eat a ton of food. Cooked. You can saute. You can make soups. You can have raw. It's not like you're going to be chewing on carrots for 6 days. So people are always surprised that, oh, I can eat a lot of food. Oh, I can cook my food. Oh, I can do all this. So it doesn't feel bad. It actually feels kind of good. And then what people notice right away, if you're willing to take the challenge and do that instantly, right? Your hair is shinier. Yes. Your skin looks amazing. Totally. You really can look like you've got a facelift, honestly. It really seriously does. Your skin kind of tightens up and looks, it just has that healthy glow again. You feel mentally sharp. You feel a lot more energy.
But the truth of the matter is, for the first few days, you don't feel mentally sharp.
You're depending, everybody has a different experience. But people do tend to feel a little tired.
It gets ticked up, I remember.
Yeah, you go into that. And then we add in, proteins, and we add in whole grains and all that. By the end, you have a sustainable diet that you can continue on with. And so a lot of people then say to me, gosh, I feel so amazing. I lost 7 pounds or whatever they lose. And then they want to know how to, how can I add back in pasta or dairy or other things that I still like, and I still would like to include it in my diet. And how do I add that in and keep the weight, losing weight, or stay at the weight that I'm at now because I feel so good. So then we continue on, and I talk with people about that too, and I have classes, weight loss, more directed toward weight loss. But the cleanse is not. The cleanse is really about rebooting. It's about feeling better. It's just about cleaning out your body. And you will read, there's a lot of doctors who will say it, or I'll get people saying to me, oh, I read that, you don't have to detox. Your body detoxes on its own. And it's true. Your body does detox every single day. Your body's going through that process. But really, you still need to go through a cleanse anyway, because you're not giving your body a chance to really cleanse the way it's supposed to. We graze, we eat all day long. Your body needs breaks between food to be able to cleanse. We are also...
Remember that,
right? And our bodies are very much like our ancestors. We have not evolved a lot, very little bit, but our environment has evolved dramatically. So we are bombarded daily with pollution, with chemicals in our food, with hormones injected in our food. We eat a lot of processed stuff that our bodies don't know how to handle. Hydrogenated oils. We eat a lot, way too much sugar. Our ancestors' bodies were not dealing with that. Right. So we're really not in the same environment. So you can't really say, oh, well, the caveman didn't need this, or, they were fine. We don't live in the same environment as the caveman.
So that's a statement on the paleo diet then.
That is a statement on the paleo, not so much on the paleo diet as much as it is environment that you're in. Okay. But the paleo diet is really big right now. People are talking about it, and people are thinking about, okay, well, if my body is the same as my ancestors, maybe I need to eat more like they did. And so, taking out all that processed stuff and focusing on proteins and vegetables mostly. Of course, what people don't think about so much, they like to say, oh, well, I'm eating meat and I'm eating vegetables, but they're not taking into account that our paleo ancestors were hunting and gathering, and they were going through periods of time where they weren't eating. There's a lot of, they were actually eating bugs and gathering.
They were busy.
And they were busy. And they were busy. And one thing they're really busy doing, right, because just the lifestyle, is they're busy preparing food, too. Right. Taking whatever they had and taking the time to prepare it. And I think one thing that our modern environment has taken away from us is taken us out of our kitchens and into more processed foods. We take a lot less time to cook and prepare food. Mm-hmm. We spend a lot less of our income on food as a part of our budget. Mm-hmm. I think it was designed in a good way at first. We were like, let's help everybody be able to spend less time eating and cooking so we can do more things like, I don't know, go enjoy life in different ways.
Different leisure activities.
But unfortunately, what has happened, is that we have stopped eating what's the right things for our bodies. And we're starting to see it. We're seeing an increase in chronic illness. All the, pharmaceuticals that we've developed, which, are definitely, I'm not going to say that they're all bad by any means. I'm not anti, medical establishment at all. I think when you need it, you need it. But what we are realizing and we're seeing is that it's not curbing our chronic illness. In fact, it's continuing to grow at a rapid pace. And for example, the United States has the highest rate of osteoporosis of any country in the world.
Wow. Really? I didn't know
yet
that.
we drink more milk, and that's supposed to be the thing that prevents that, right?
Yeah.
So we're now starting to just really, unpack all the stuff that we've been learning that's wrong, and kind of relearning how we really need to eat. So it's all very fascinating to me, and I'm so passionate about it. I decided to further my education at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, which I really love. It's an amazing, amazing program, and they teach you every dietary theory out there. So I am not about, there's only one way to eat. Okay. We're bio-individuals, and we all have different needs.
I like that term.
It's a good term.
Bio-individuals.
Bio-individual. And, the other thing, which is why I am working with these two amazing women as well, is that one thing that we focus on we call it IIN, Institute for Integrative Nutrition, is we call it primary food and secondary food. And secondary food is the actual food that you eat. Primary food being your emotional state. So your thoughts, the way you think about yourself deep inside, and the way you think about other things, how you treat people, all that stuff affects you, as you know, on a cellular level.
Absolutely.
So it really impacts your health dramatically. Stress is a huge, huge cause of a lot of chronic illness. It's a major factor. It's a major component. So I'm excited to work with the both of you because I know coming out of that education, I was really blown away by that. Actually, I did not link the two things together. So it's really interesting, and I think that's really our Western philosophy is we don't link our minds and bodies together. We don't link, what I put in my body might actually affect the ecosystem. It's an ecosystem, right? And if I'm going to put junk in there, I'm going to create a junky ecosystem, and a junky ecosystem is going to create disease, right? And problems, right? And same thing mentally, spiritually. You put the junk in, you're going to create disharmony in your relationships of all kinds. So I don't know. Does that?
Yes, definitely.
You're back. Yeah, totally.
So, Linda, tell us what are some, in addition to the fact that you're a nutritionist, an awesome nutritionist, obviously, what other services do you provide for your clients and your customers?
Well, we do certainly individual counseling. I love doing groups. I love teaching classes with getting groups together. I find that when you are part of a group and you're held accountable to a group of people, there's something about the energy. There's something about when people come together and they're working toward a common goal, it just feels larger than you, and you feel like you're not alone, and you hear other people have the same issues that you have or have the same concerns about their health as you have, and so you don't feel so bad about it, and you feel like there's a way out, so to speak, right? So and I think also when I work with people, most of us intuitively know. If I asked each of you, what are the 3 things you think you could do right now to improve your health? Everybody has an idea about that. Everybody will say, I should exercise more. I need to eat more vegetables, that kind of thing. So people do intuitively know. And so I work with kind of getting in tune with that intuition about your own body, eating clean foods and putting that together so that you can come up with your own program, basically. We work together for that.
Oh, that sounds good. I know one of the things that's kind of, I used to be a registered nurse years ago, and so I was, out on PubMed or WebMD or all these different places kind of getting some of the research that's out there, and there is so much controversy about supplementation or taking vitamins. You can find, you can go drive down a rabbit hole on either side of that argument, and very few middle of the road. What's your view on supplementation or vitamins?
I would love to tell you that you don't need it. You can get all that you need in your food, and I wish that were the truth. I really do. But I don't believe you can get what you need in your food. I just don't. I know there's tons of documentation about how farmers are not required to put the nutrients in the soil that we need. They only put the nutrients in they're required to put in that make the carrots look orange or the vegetables look bigger. It is. We are depleted of about 77 trace minerals in the soil. And so I happen to know, if you think about an ecosystem, which your body is, if you're not putting all the minerals and nutrients in there that you need, your body's going to have a hard time being able to work at an optimal level. So our soil's depleted. We are polluting the soil dramatically. I mean, I could read statistics statistic after statistic after statistic about what we're doing to our soil. I mean, think about it. You got the pollution in the air. You got the pesticides that we're putting on our crops, right? And it's all leaching into the soil. It's coming into our water streams. So it's really hard to get what you need in your food. And if you think about it, you should eat approximately 8 to 9 servings of vegetables per day. I mean, how many?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot. And how many people honestly do that? Yeah. I try to do that, and I don't accomplish that.
That's a lot of food.
It's a lot of food. It's a lot of food.
Yeah.
It's a lot of volume. And I remember when you said that during your cleanse, and you said, how many of you eat 1 plate of vegetables a day? How many of you eat 2? And people, the room was getting small. But you say you need to have 4 dinner plates. Is it 4 dinner plates worth of food? Is that
3 large plates? Yeah,
of fruits and vegetables.
It's a lot of food.
I felt the same way when I was pregnant, and they told me what I was supposed to be eating when I was pregnant to have a healthy baby, and I thought I can't possibly fit all that food in my stomach.
Right.
Right.
So
fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. But when you take out simple carbs and vegetables, they digest very quickly. So you find that you can eat more of those, I think, but I think it's really hard to do. So back to the supplementation,
yes.
I think it's really important. I think everyone should take a basic multivitamin. I think everyone should take a really good antioxidant. We have a lot of free radical damage, so that talking about pollution, stress, chemicals in the food, all that creates free radical damage in your body, which basically free radical damage means a molecule's missing an electron, right? So it's like me, so let's just say I'm missing a shoe. And I need my shoe because I can't walk around with 1 shoe. So I'm missing my shoe, so I'm going to steal Debbie's shoe. Well, now Debbie only has 1 shoe, and now she's going to steal Wendy's shoe because Wendy, because she only has 1 shoe. And the process keeps going, and that's what cancer is. That's what all this chronic illness is. Free radical damage in your body creates inflammation, all these problems.
Creates
right?
crooks.
Yes, crooks. So what antioxidants do is they'll go in and replace Wendy's shoe, so she doesn't have to then go steal it from somebody else. Yeah,
coming in and getting out the shoes.
Exactly.
I like that.
Right. So I think antioxidants are very, very, very important. I think we are so bombarded, with stuff all day long. And again, I could read a lot of statistics on that. We're seeing it in our kids now too. Kids are having peanut allergies and all these allergies, right? It's all this stuff that's happening now, generation to generation. All this poisoning of our environment. And I think that fish oils are really important too. I think it's hard to eat enough fish to get fish oils are anti-inflammatory.
Right.
They reduce inflammation in your body. Right. And they're amazing, and they're great for your skin, and they're great for your heart, and they're great for brain health. Your brain is 60% fat. It needs the fat, the EPA
is
and DHA.
Really?
Yeah.
60% fat.
A lot of fat.
Yeah.
Wow. I knew that I remember there was a time moms were feeding their babies fat-free milk, and that just really, because they're trying not to have obese children, but yet they were having children who weren't mentally prepared to face life because their brains weren't as developed.
Okay.
Do you remember that? That started to come out like a while back, back when the cardiac thing and the fat was just stripped out of all
Fat doesn't make you fat. Just Atkins proved that. Atkins diet. Think about the Atkins diet. Are you guys familiar with the Atkins diet, right? You're eating all the fat, bacon and eggs, and people lose tremendous amount of weight. So fat does not make you fat. In fact, fat helps to not have the carbs or the sugars spike in your bloodstream. So they really kind of keep that process down. The fats are very, very, very important. If you're drinking milk, don't drink skim. Drink fat. You want the fat because all the nutrients in the milk are in the fat. So if you take the fat out, all you have is basically the junk. You've got high sugar.
Really?
Yeah. Lactose in milk is sugar.
So the nutrients are in the fat. So when you have fat-free milk, you're just getting the dregs.
The dregs.
Oh,
really?
God. I'm going to have to change because I've been drinking fat-free milk for a few years now.
Wow.
Yeah. Wait. go on about milk. I won't go on about milk right now, but
maybe another time.
Another time we can do that. But it is fat is not an evil demon, and it's not the evil demon that we've thought that it was, and milk is not the answer to our osteoporosis. But really, eating whole foods, healthy, clean foods that have one ingredient, or like an apple or a steak or whatever. Stay away from the processed food. Eating whole foods, and it makes a big difference. But anyway, I know we're getting
your
close
passion
on time
is
here.
so convicting, and it's also very catchy. What's the right word?
Convincing.
Yes. and it's infectious. I'm really excited. I feel like I want to go out and do some more Googling and research on food and why we need supplementation. So I really appreciate what you're saying, and I'm very glad that you're part of Mighty Married Moms.
Yeah,
well, thank you.
So thanks, Linda Tighe.
Thanks, and again,
what's your website again?
Yep, again, my website is allwellbreaksloose.com, and if you go to mightymarriedmoms.com, I have a free gift for you, some just basic information about health I think you'll really like. It'd be very helpful for you, as we have many free gifts on mightymarriedmoms.com. But thank you so much for giving me this time. I really enjoyed it, and thank you all for listening in.
This was great. Thank you so much, Linda.
Thanks,
Linda.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Mighty Married Moms. Tune in twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays to meet fascinating and inspiring guests who will help you create the life you've always wanted.
You can find these episodes and special gifts just for you at mightymarriedmoms.com, as well as a link to our Facebook community,
where we continue the conversation around the kitchen table. Please also help share the love by leaving a review on iTunes. We'll see you next time.